Hi, sister.
What up?
How are you today?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good.
It's cold.
It is cold. It is cold. We're in Pittsburgh, and it is cold in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I don't love it.
No,
Yeah, I don't love it.
it's not my thing at all. So today we're here to talk about where's the adult? How did it come to be? What does it mean? When was that moment that we were like, ah, we have to be the grown-ups now?
Okay. Yeah. Wow. That's
I know it's a loaded question.
it is a loaded
It's a
question.
loaded question.
Let's see. What would we say? Like 2000 and what? 16?
Yeah.
When, all hell broke loose?
I
Yeah.
think so.
That was wild. So yeah, I would say that started out with our grandma having a brain bleed and everything that came with that. Going to the hospital on a daily basis, checking on her house on a daily basis. You did a lot with the doctors,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, learning to advocate not only for her.
Mm-hmm.
So this was before I was a nurse. So trying to figure out the medical jargon and get people to
Well, I guess we should back up
yeah,
because so I'm Elena.
reverse. Reverse. I'm Dara.
And we're sisters,
I'm sisters.
biological sisters.
Same parents.
I like to say same vagina.
She is older and took all the ink from the printer. So when I came out, there was just no more ink left.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I
But
am.
the doctor says I have a form of albinism. Silly
Which
doctors.
is funny because like we always thought that was offensive
Yeah.
because people would say, "Oh, your sister's an albino," and I'd say, "No, she's not."
I'm like, no, I'm not. My skin's not that light. I have pigment in my hair, but just like everything else, apparently it's a spectrum. You don't find these things out until you're an adult.
Yeah, you'll find throughout our podcast, there's a lot of things that we land on the spectrum about.
Yes. The world is, everything's a spectrum.
Yeah. By trade, I'm a manicurist. I've been a manicurist forever, like 20. Oh my gosh, 25 years this year.
Wow, you're old.
I'm saying
You're old.
that's crazy. I am a mom to a boy man, and I have 2 4-legged children, a husband, and this year I became a certified self-care coach.
Woo.
What up?
Shout out to Kane Dukes.
Yes. And so tell us about you.
I am everything. So I'm a nurse. Currently, I am a nurse for individuals with developmental and intellectual disabilities. I have a husband. I have 2 step adults, and 2 grandkids, and 1 4-legged puppy.
Grandkids. You're a granny.
I'm a granny.
Nana D.
Before becoming a nurse, I was an entrepreneur. I had my own business that focused on health and wellness for adults with a wide variety of disabilities.
So the disability community has been your jam for a while.
I'm part of that community, so I gotta love on my community, love on the communities you're part of, and I'm a part of that community, so I love on them.
Yeah, I feel like, every time we talk about this, caring for people has always been a part of who we are.
I'm pretty sure that's what our mother,
Instilled in us.
yeah, that's just her way. That we're supposed to be a blessing. We're supposed to care about people. That you're supposed to do things for your neighbors and not accept any money. Or when you're a kid, that kind of sucks because you don't understand. You're like, why can't that old lady pay me? But,
I'll take cookies, whatever you got.
yeah. But as an adult, I'm like, oh yeah, you should just do things for people because it's the right thing to do,
Right.
opposed to,
And that is what you always said. Just do things because it's the right thing to do.
yeah.
Even if the person sucks, just do it because it's the right thing to do. So yeah, we've been in one aspect of an or another caring for people for quite some time.
Definitely.
And then in 2017, we were kind of pushed into a different kind of caregiving situation.
Yeah.
16?
16.
16.
I think it started in 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. And before that, we had our own health struggles and issues.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Not forgot about that, but like I feel like when you're so focused on caring about other people, you always go to the back burner.
Yeah, sometimes you forget that, like, oh yeah, I have health issues and problems, and maybe I should focus on myself.
When was the last time I took a shower? That's kind of important too.
Yeah.
Yeah, hence the reason, coaching people in a better self-care journey ranks high on my list of things to do. And myself included, because, yeah, I can be neglectful when it
Yeah.
comes to me.
Sometimes you just forget. You're just like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that I'm supposed to care about myself. Yeah.
So, full disclosure, I have multiple sclerosis. I got diagnosed in April of 2016. And then in June of 2016, our grandma had a brain bleed. Like, come on, lady, can't I have this just to myself?
Yeah.
Let me have time to process what's going on here. But that was not to be. And you, would you like to share
Yeah.
your struggles?
So in my mid-20s, I got diagnosed with bipolar 1. And I recently just got diagnosed with dyslexia.
Congratulations.
Yeah, the joke that I'm just functionally illiterate, that joke is not a joke. I do struggle with reading, and it's
Those are
because
facts.
my brain is wired a little bit differently. And I can't blame everything on. I'm like, oh, it's just my bipolar. No, it's my dyslexia too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's why the disability community is so important to me, because I am a part of that community, and all those terrible statistics that, people with disabilities die 25 years sooner than the general population. Yeah, my whole business was about changing those statistics.
We are a whole bag full of something special.
Something. Oh, and we shouted out your school, so I got to say, Hail Pitt, University of Pittsburgh,
And
West Penn School of Nursing. We're Pittsburgh proud.
we are. We are.
We go to school here. We work here. We live here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we love our Yinzer city.
And now we podcast here.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so back to our origin story.
That is our origin story.
Wow.
But how we became
Caregivers.
the adults that we are today.
Yeah.
Or some version of the adults that we are today.
Yeah, so our grandmother, she had a brain bleed, seizures, ICU, all that.
Life flight.
All that terrible things. And then she went to 3 different facilities after the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went to 3 different facilities after the hospital. And her last facility was a rehab facility.
Mm-hmm.
And in the rehab facility, someone had to learn how to help her with transfers and walking. And as the exercise scientist in the family, that fell on me.
Mm-hmm.
So I helped her. I was, at the rehab every day. So much so that I got pneumonia because I wasn't taking care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
My husband, who had pneumonia, said, "You don't sound good. You should probably go to urgent care." So I go to urgent care. The urgent care doctor, they do the chest x-ray. And she's like, "You have pneumonia in both of your lungs." And I said, "Okay, I think you should go to the hospital." And I said, my grandma's getting out of this rehab tomorrow, and I'm the only one that can sign her out. And I'm like, can I wait? She tried to persuade me instead. got a steroid shot. I had to take these pills. And it's the only time I've ever been to urgent care where the urgent care doctor calls you the next day to check on you. And then the day after that, I think she was just trying to make sure I was still alive.
When I hear that story, that is so freaking sad. Like, that is so sad, but it was normal for us.
It was like
You not. And I remember, for as upset as I was that you had pneumonia, like, what was the other option?
yeah, there was no,
Like, you were the one that knew the stuff.
yeah, I knew the stuff. We had already petitioned insurance to let her stay additional time. Like, they were like, you got to go. She has to go.
She didn't have use of her right arm, and she was right-handed, which made it a little, add a little extra sprinkles to the situation.
Yes. Yes. And unstable on her feet, unsteady gaits, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Her speech was off.
yeah,
So all the things.
all the things. So we didn't have a choice. So we got her home, and then I proceeded to sleep in a gigantic chair in my living room for the next like 4 days because you could hear my lungs rattle from across the room. I was just like, like it was.
That's horrible.
It was bad.
That is horrible.
It was bad.
But with our grandmother coming home, then the decision was made that she didn't want to be taken to a facility. She was going to do the exercises that she needed to be able to get herself stronger. And our hope was that eventually she'd be able to live by herself again. She was always quite independent, even after our grandfather died. She lived alone up until the point of her brain bleed. She lived alone. We all lived close, but still, she needed 24-hour care because she wasn't able to cook for herself, move around well.
Go to the bathroom alone, shower alone.
Ugh.
She couldn't do any of that stuff. So we, with our mother and one of our cousins, became her
Female cousin. Let's stress that. A
Yeah.
female cousin.
Yeah.
Because there's only 3 of us girls on this side of the family.
Yeah. So the females. But we had some sprinkling of some male help.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. But, our grandmother was old school and traditional, and no man's going to help me wipe or give me a shower or any of that.
So let me just add in right here at this point before we go any further. Dare being the nurse and doing everything that she has done with the community that she's worked in, she is fine with bodily fluids, grossness.
Oh, yeah.
I, however, am not. Where I could see blood and be fine. But if you poop on yourself, I'm out. That is my line. I can't do it. I can give pedicure to the grossest feet in the world, but when it comes to seeing people's parts, and I just can't do it. I can't do it. So being put in a situation where you have no choice, that was horrible. So let me just tell you a little story right at this point. So we took shifts, right? We took shifts for my grandma because nobody can be there all the time. We all still worked.
Yeah, we still had jobs. Like, I had a business, she had her salon, our mother had a job, our cousin had a job. Like, we were all still.
And we had families. We had lives.
Yeah, I had just I had gotten engaged. My father-in-law died. My, I guess my aunt-in-law, my husband's aunt, she also had a stroke.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to be at the hospital with her and help. Yeah, she had Down syndrome. So being in the hospital was hard for her. So we had to support her while she was in the hospital, and then she went into hospice and being there. Yeah, it was a lot.
So when you think about it, in that time period, there was a whirlwind going on around us that our
Yeah.
main focus was making sure that our grandmother could stay in her house because that's what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Not that we necessarily wanted that for her, but that's what
Mhm.
she wanted to do.
Yeah.
I remember helping my grandmother to the bathroom. If she peed, she was pretty much okay. She could that part she could do her do herself. She was in the bathroom for quite some time. And I was like, Graham, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. You sure you're okay? You've been in there for a while. I'm pooping. I was like, oh no. Oh no. What am I gonna do? So I pick up the phone and I call my mom. She's in there pooping. What am I gonna do? My mother's cracking up laughing. I see nothing at the time in this situation that was funny. She is pooping. I know that she can't reach around there and wipe her butt. What are we gonna do? It's my shift. There's no one who can come and help me.
And I live on the other side of town. Like I live 2 tunnels away.
Yeah. And so, so I was like, you're gonna have to do it. And I'm like, oh no, 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 no. I can't. I'll just let her sit in there. She's like, you can't let her sit in there. You need to get in there. So I strapped up on some latex gloves. I was like, all right, Graham, this is not going to be pleasant for either of us. So let's just do this. I'm in there gagging. My girl was like, oh, that's so bad. I'm like, this is your poop. I'm smelling your poop. So I was like, hold on to the towel bar, Graham. We're going to get this done. And we both survived. We both survived the incident. Oh, that was rough.
Yeah.
Rough stuff. Oh my gosh, it was rough. Woo. Yeah, but also like my dad lived down the street, but there was no way in hell she was gonna let him come in and wipe
No.
her. She wouldn't even let him like tie her shoes or help her get dressed in the morning.
No.
Yeah, it was
And,
just us girls.
and they were very close. Like my father, like our dad was really close too.
Our grandparents.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this is our mom's mom.
Our maternal granny.
Yes. But our dad was very close. They thought of him like the son they never had.
Mhm.
Yes. But yeah, she would not help. Yeah.
So yeah, taking care of our grandmother was our first deep dive into caregiving.
And learning how messed up insurance companies are, how much you have to like advocate,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes how simple it is to just be like, no, I don't think she can go home yet. Oh, okay, we'll call the insurance company. Some facilities were like, okay, that's fine. We'll just call the insurance company.
Mm-hmm.
She can stay for a little bit longer.
Right.
Or when she was home and she had to go to physical therapy, I think they wanted her to pay like a $40 copay every visit, and she was going 3 times a week. And I'm like, oh, she can't afford that. Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm amazed how many things that if you speak up, that other people will help advocate for you.
Mm-hmm. So the moral of the story is closed mouths don't get fed.
Yes. And it wasn't always like easy peasy. Oh, that's fine. Sometimes it was a fight. Some of the facilities were like, she can't go home. She can't. She's not able. And some of them were like, well, she can't stay here, so we'll find her somewhere else. That's why she was at so many different facilities.
You don't gotta go home, but you gotta get up out
Yeah,
here.
they're like, oh, she gotta go out of here, you know. Yeah. Or sometimes you have to lie. So at one point, she was at a hospital in the city originally, and then she came to a suburban hospital. In this suburban hospital, I came out to visit her, and my grandmother was a very prim and proper, modest lady. She had her boobie out, and she was playing with it, just like flapping it in the wind. And I was like, Gram, what's wrong? What's happening? And she was so confused. And I was like, oh, there's something wrong with her.
She was cussing at you, wasn't
Yeah,
she?
she was. And our grandmother, she really didn't cuss. And my cousin was a CNA, and my cousin's like, oh, check her. Tell them to check to see if she has a UTI. So my cousin tells them that, and they just ignore her because they're like, she's just a CNA. They're like, we're going to do a psych eval. I'm like, a psych eval? I'm pretty sure that's not what's happening. I'm pretty sure that she hasn't just magically developed some psychiatric condition post-stroke. just randomly. She was fine when I was there the night before, just overnight. I don't think that's what's going on. So then I lied and was like, hey, I'm a nurse. Can we check her for a UTI? Oh, you're a nurse. We didn't know that. I was not a nurse at the time.
Manifestation.
But sometimes you got a little fudge. And they were like, yeah, we'll check her for a UTI. Oh, yeah, this is really common. This is really common in older adults when they have UTIs. Well, why didn't you listen to my cousin when she came in and said this to you?
Did they ask you where you were a nurse at?
Nope, they didn't ask. They didn't ask any follow-up questions. And I am very thankful they didn't, because
You would have had to lie more.
I would be like, oh, I live out of state and I'm a nurse at this hospital in a different state. And if they would have asked me any follow-up nursing questions, I would have been like, I'm trying to take care of my grandmother.
I don't have time for this nonsense. It's tomfoolery.
Why are you asking me these questions? Just run the test.
As well as advocating in the hospital, sometimes you have to advocate against family members. Like family members who, oh, they're fine. They don't need to go to rehab anymore. And somebody has to stand up, go against the grain and say, they're saying, yes, they are saying. End of story.
Because sometimes people
Have their own agenda.
yeah. Sometimes they have their own agenda. Sometimes they're just up in straight up denial.
True.
They're just in denial. Oh, no, they're fine.
Mhm.
No, our family member isn't fine. Somebody's friend isn't fine. They're a mess. They need more medical support.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They need help.
Yes.
They need help. Whatever that looks like, they need it.
Yes.
So that was a deep dive. I feel like that was a baptism by fire into the world of caregiving.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
For me personally, I feel like it almost broke me. I remember having my husband drop me off after I worked all day to take my shift and just sitting in the driveway and crying and saying, I don't want to get out of the car. And he'd be like, oh, well, just don't go. That's not an option. I have to go because whoever I was relieving had already been there all day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing they don't talk about is not only the emotional toll it takes on you, but the financial toll. We were both business owners. Was I growing my business? No. My business was like limping along because I had to take care of my family.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are, in your 30s, unfortunately, we are not independently wealthy.
Jinx.
My husband's older, but he's not my sugar daddy, unfortunately. I married for love like an idiot.
The first time you marry for love, the second time you marry for money. That's how it goes.
Oh, it should be reverse.
I mean, I'm saying.
But, I've only been married once, and I married for love.
I have to give a huge shout out to my clients because they rocked with me the entire time. Yeah. I could call, hey, I need to reschedule. Hey, can you come in early? We got to do this. We got to do that. And because I was transparent with them, they were more than accommodating. They could have been like, yeah, no, screw you, dirtball. But they didn't. And they are still my clients to this day.
Yeah. And my staff, they did what they were supposed to. And the companies that I contracted with, they were wonderful and flexible. There was one point that I was supposed to do this big presentation. And my husband is also one of the people that we have to caregive for because he is a ninny and doesn't follow doctor's orders. So my husband's like, oh, my chest. And I was like, oh, babe, what's happening? We go to the hospital. He has to get new stents put in. I'm supposed to do this big presentation for hundreds of people. I think the state's going to be there. And I was like, okay. So I'm figuring out with the doctors. And I was like, this is a real weird request, but can it be in the afternoon so I can run and do this presentation? Meanwhile, we went to the hospital. I slept at the hospital. The nurses gave me like random clothes to wear. I go down to the gift shop and, of course, buy a Pittsburgh Pirate shirt so I can drive on the other side of town to do this presentation.
Oh my gosh.
And they were like, that was a wonderful presentation. I'm like, was it? I don't even remember doing it. So I could drive back so I could be there before he went into surgery. And I'm like, you people need to pull it together.
The things you do for those that you love.
I'm like, I can't. This is too much.
Yeah, I absolutely love my brother-in-law, but it seems like anytime he was having some sort of health crisis, it was on a Wednesday.
Yes.
So now I always tell him, it's not Wednesday. It's not your day. You have to wait your turn.
Yeah, over the holidays, we went to the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does not listen. He does not listen. They say that nurses don't listen to the doctors or go to the doctors. He should have been a nurse. As much as he doesn't listen, he definitely should have been a nurse.
Yeah. Along with taking care of our grandmother for, what did we do that for? 2 years?
Yeah, like 2 years.
And eventually it got to the point where it was just way too much.
And I got married. And I said, I'm a newlywed. When I come back from my honeymoon, could I not? Because our grandmother wasn't doing her exercises. Some depression had set in, which, of course, like a life-altering event had happened, that she was always independent, and she was the caregiver in our family. She cared for
She should have been a nurse.
Yeah, she should have been a nurse. She cared for our great-grandparents. She cared for our aunts.
Her husband.
Yeah, our grandpa.
All of these people she cared for until death.
Yes. They came and lived at her house until they passed away. Mm-hmm. There was a bed that like 3 people died on.
The dead bed.
Yeah. I didn't like to lay on it.
We've since thrown that bed out.
Because I'm like, nah, I can't mess with this bed.
Yeah. So yeah, it was hard for her.
It was hard for her. It was
a huge adjustment that she just didn't adjust well.
She didn't, which, of course, if I'm like in my 90s and I am independent, and before this, she was driving around. She would walk the neighborhood with this giant stick just in case
a dog
came. We would play dodgeball in her basement and she would participate.
Yeah.
Like she was very spry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very spry. To go from that to needing care all the time. Mm-hmm. And then she started to feel like embarrassed and uncomfortable. And she didn't want to go places. She didn't want to go to church anymore. She didn't want to see her friends anymore. So it was hard for her.
She started to get crotchety. Let's be real. She just started to get crotchety.
She did.
I'm sure everybody knows, that crotchety old person. You're like, oh man, they're real mean. But they didn't start that way.
No.
Usually it's some sort of life-altering event that causes the crotchetiness.
So we were able to find a respite for her that she could go. It gave the family a break. So I was on my honeymoon. She was in respite and she liked it. Mm-hmm. So she got to stay there.
Mm-hmm. And we were able to have a life again.
Yeah.
I used to travel a lot to teach nail classes. Mm-hmm. I've worked at Fashion Week. I've done a lot of things in my nail career, but during that time, it wasn't something that I was able to do because I had to take my shift. And being able to do that, I was like, oh, this is fantastic. I can travel again. Even though it's work travel, it's still travel.
Yeah. And we found her, she lived there for a little bit. And then she moved into a retirement home where our mother paid for an aide to assist her. So she had her own little apartment and an aide would come in and help her. And she had friends.
She was more independent.
Yes. Yeah. So sometimes you got to give people that push. Mm-hmm. Even if they don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that's not the best thing. Even
Yeah.
if they don't think it's the best thing. Yeah.
Right. Because they're only looking at the small picture.
Yeah.
That's where advocacy, somebody has to look at the big picture.
Yeah.
You know, what's the end game here? Where are we trying to go? Where are we at now? Where do we need to go?
Mm-hmm.
And to be brave enough to say it.
Yeah. Even though she was like, I want to stay in my house. I want to stay in my house. She wasn't happy in her house because she just isolated herself. So, yeah, she was in her home, but she had isolated herself because she felt embarrassed that, oh, I can't move. Oh, I can only wear sweatpants because I have a hard time getting my pants off. So I can't go to church in sweatpants. God doesn't care what you wear to church.
He sure doesn't.
And the church she went to, they didn't care either. They were not going to judge her.
They were, we take you as you are, church.
Yes. But sometimes the conversations that we have in our head with ourselves are much different than the reality of situations.
Mm-hmm. They're a lot harsher.
They are. Yeah. We're some jerks to ourselves.
We really are.
So even though having her move was challenging and a big fight, it actually worked out. Yeah. Because she lived another, 6 years? Yeah, she lived another 6 years.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She was 93 when she died?
Yes.
We're going to go with 93.
Yes.
We might be completely wrong, but we're
Might
going
be.
with 93.
I think that's a caregiving and trauma. It messes up your brain.
Yes.
It distorts time. And yeah, sometimes it distorts time and reality. And you're like, hold on, wasn't that like so many years ago? And you're like, oh, that was last year. How did so much happen in a year?
Mm-hmm.
How did all of this? Yeah.
It's like COVID.
Yes.
If did it happen before or after COVID?
Yes.
It doesn't really matter how long after COVID or how long before. It was just before and after COVID.
Yeah.
Pandemic, I guess we should say.
And like 2020, that's like, it was only like 5 years ago. 2020 was 5 years ago.
It was 5 years ago. Not like it was 5 years ago.
It seems like it was so long ago.
It does. It really does.
But then in some aspects, like, oh, it feels like it just happened. But also, it was really far.
Right.
Trauma brain.
Which we will definitely dig into that.
Trauma brain.
But following along on our origin story of Where's the Adults, our mom got sick.
Yeah, our mom got COVID.
Both of our parents got COVID.
Both of our parents got COVID. Our dad was okay. Our mom got hospitalized.
Needed oxygen COVID.
Yeah, like bad.
Mm-hmm.
And our mom doesn't.
She doesn't hospital well.
No. She's like my husband. Doesn't follow directions. Thinks everything's fine.
Mm-hmm. Thinks she knows best.
Yeah. Yep. We had to call the ambulance she had to call the ambulance. I was at work and she didn't want to go in the ambulance.
So our mother has the tendency to not understand what a crisis means. No. So when I take time off, I say, call me when there's an emergency. An emergency consists of blood, fire, some sort of bodily harm, something of that sort. My mom, so for example, I was taking an online test one day and my mom called me and I said, hey, I'm taking a test. I'll call you back. She says, oh, okay. I call her the next day to find out what was happening. Come to find out, she was basically hemorrhaging and passing out because she needed to have a hysterectomy.
Yeah.
Now, if she would have just said, hey, I need to go to the hospital, I would have stopped what I was doing to take her to the hospital.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, I just think, oh, she's just calling to gossip or, tell me about work or something, Dancing with the Stars. But no, there was a crisis.
Yep.
COVID, I was calling her. It was the week of my birthday. And she wasn't answering, which is very odd for her because she is a huge celebrator.
Yeah.
So birthdays, Christmas, all of that. She's a big celebrator. She had my dad drop off, I think, a card or something. And I was supposed to leave to go to New York. It was doing a trade show. Didn't answer. So I live close enough. I just went down there. Thank God I did. Our dad was just sitting downstairs, like, oh, your mother's fine. Went upstairs. Our mother was bloated. Um, hadn't been out of the bathroom or hadn't been out of the bed, wasn't going to the bathroom. Her blood pressure was off the charts. Her pulse ox off the charts.
Yeah, it was super low.
My sister's saying, call 911. And my mother says, no. The only thing she can respond to is, no, I'm not going to the hospital.
Yeah. I'm at work. At the time, I worked at a psych hospital. So I'm sneaking in the nurse's station with my cell phone, yelling at her. Like, I don't care what she says. She's going to the hospital. She needs to go to the hospital. What is wrong with her?
She, and this is how absurd it was. She said, no, I just need some mandarin oranges, and told my husband to go and get her some mandarin oranges. Meanwhile, I'm calling 911 to get the ambulance to come. They get there, and she's like, no, I'm not going. To the point where they almost left her because they said, ma'am, we have other people that we need to help. If you're not going to go, then, we have to move on. Couldn't walk. Had to be put in a ambulance chair and taken down the steps to be put in a stretcher because she was that bad off.
Yeah, she was on a non-rebreather for any of our folks that in healthcare. Yeah, she was in the hospital for like 10 days. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was bad.
And so while our mom was in the hospital, then our dad started acting very erratic.
Very erratic. So I guess reverse in 20, maybe 15. We're really not sure. Trauma brain. Our dad started behaving oddly. And we're like, that's not right. And just because of the work I do, I'm like, hey, he might have like early stage like dementia. No, there's nothing wrong with him. I'm like, yeah, like he doesn't know people's names that he like has a close relationship with. And then my mom took him to a neurologist. So our dad played football. He played football in college. Woo Clarion. And this guy remembered my dad from football. Oh, you were such a good football player, blah, blah, blah. They didn't really check him or assess him. He was just too worried about, hey, you played football 50 years ago.
Clearly you're not playing.
Oh, he doesn't have CTE. And I'm like, well, that's
great. But what does he have?
He eventually got to see somebody else who was like, oh, he has Alzheimer's. Take these pills.
Early onset Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Because currently our dad he turned 72 years old tomorrow.
Or today, depending, because so his whole life he thought his birthday was one day, and then he got a passport and found out his birthday was a different day.
But what we found out in that was back then it was whenever the doctor came and filled out the birth certificate. So like you might have been born one day, but it wasn't until they filled out the certificate that was your official birthday.
Yeah.
So
okay. Back to our mom has COVID. She's in the hospital. Mm-hmm. Our dad starts acting strange.
Very strange.
Very strange.
Wobbly.
Yeah. He was stuttering. At that time, I am in a nursing school. And I am in
Were you in nursing school then?
Yeah. When they had COVID, I was in nursing school.
Are you serious? Wow. We went through a lot. We went through a lot.
So I'm in nursing school, and not like the 4-year nursing school, the accelerated hospital style nursing school. My dad's PCP and I talk literally every single day. Oh, these are the symptoms. Oh, this is this. This is this. So one day I pull into the parking lot to go to school, and his PCP called and said, I think I want you to take your dad to the hospital just to rule out a stroke. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. But it's COVID time. So I take him to the hospital, and they're like...
So I get my dad and bring him to her.
And they're like, you can't stay with him And I was like, he can't tell you anything right now. He barely knows who I am. He can't. So they took my phone number. You know, when you're in the hospital, the doctor comes in and they're like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Every time that happened, they had to call me. Every time a new person came in, they called me. And they're like, we're going to give you this little pager so you can track him. And I'm like, okay, but I wasn't allowed in the hospital. So I'm just like hanging out because I don't know. Is it going to be 10 minutes? Is it going, well, we all know it's not going to be 10 minutes, but
Right. Are they keeping him? Are they?
yeah. Is it going to be 5 more hours? Is it going to be 2 more hours? Like, what is the situation?
So what we found was that COVID was exacerbating his Alzheimer's symptoms.
Yes. So every time our dad gets COVID, which he's had it maybe like 2 or 3 times, 2 or 3 times.
Really, any sort of illness,
Yeah. Yeah.
cold, flu, whatever.
Yeah. He starts to stutter. His short-term memory goes out the door.
He's more confused.
He becomes incontinent.
Yeah, and our dad's really the man that we've known as our dad is very calm and chill, and he doesn't really cuss. Like if he does, you know, he is
Yeah.
really mad.
He did something bad.
But this makes him a person who we do not recognize, like somebody who would hang out at the bar.
Yes. Yeah.
And not a nice classy bar. It's like the neighborhood crusty bar that your parents tell you don't ever go to that bar. That's where he would be hanging out at.
Yeah, he'd be a regular. Yeah.
So yeah, that was our parents in COVID, and our mom had to come home with oxygen.
Yeah.
That at first she was saying, "Oh, I don't need this,"
But she did. She needed it. It was just in her mind. Her lungs were like, please. And her brain was like, please. And she was like, I don't need it. I don't need it.
Yeah, this cord is getting in my way, lady. You need to breathe. That's the more important
Yeah.
part of this. So yeah, that was 2020. We had some folks pass away in that time period in the next few years.
Yeah.
So we had,
Yeah, we did.
we had a lot of
Yeah.
grief swirling around.
Yeah.
Right now, one that really sticks out to me is
Oh
when
my
our
gosh.
family dog died.
Oh my God.
And my mom called, and I actually thought that my grandmother had died, the way that she was just
She was
hysterical.
so upset. Like, I couldn't even hear what she was saying. She was so upset. And like, my dad was he was at work, and she's like, you have to go pick him up. You have to go pick him up. And I was like, what's happening? Like, who died? Yeah.
That was
Very
rough.
sad. Yeah. Oh, I forgot all about, Callie.
Shout out to Calcutta.
Callie, we love you.
Yeah, that was rough. We had a lot of close people to us pass.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I've had 2 friends die of breast cancer. Girls, get your babies checked. Get them smashed. Get them looked at. Do your exams.
don't pull jank around. Get
All
it
of
done.
that stuff.
Mammograms are free in most places.
Yeah.
Get her done.
Yeah.
And then, 2022. That was probably the worst year of our life.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.